Time for your daily dose of automotive news. Grab your coffee, tea, or whatever snack gets you going, and let's dive into what's driving the world today.
Last time we broke down how Toyota lost the trust that once made it untouchable, unsold trucks piling up, loyalists walking away, and a brand that feels more complicated than confident. But here's the big question. Can Toyota actually fix this? Because behind the scenes there's already chatter, rumors about quiet fixes, experimental trims, and even the possibility of heritage engines making a return. None of it's confirmed, but the fact these conversations are happening tells you just how loud the backlash has become. So let's dive into what insiders are whispering and what a real comeback for Toyota could actually look like. Industry chatter suggests product planners are listening. Rumors suggest mid-cycle fixes are coming. Mount revisions, software smoothing, small but real hardware changes to tame the edges. Owners complain about. Some reports claim niche trims could experiment with simpler powertrains, even if only as limited runs, to test demand. None of that is confirmed, but the conversations are happening in public because loyalists won't stop asking for it. If Toyota greenlights a heritage option, a naturally aspirated V6 in a Tacoma Package X, a detuned longevity-first V8 returning in a Tundra Heritage, it wouldn't just sell metal, it would sell forgiveness. It would say, we remember who we are. And in the truck world, identity sells as hard as horsepower. To understand why that matters, remember how we got here. Toyota didn't build its reputation in a lab. It built it on trails, job sites, and freeways where the next exit wasn't negotiable. Hilux torture tests became campfire stories. 4Runners aged into family members. Land Cruisers crossed continents and then carried kids to school. The brand's greatest achievement wasn't reliability as a statistic. It was reliability as culture. Owners who bought once and evangelized forever. That culture is patient, but not infinite. If the hardware stops reflecting the values, the story stops spreading itself. Then marketing tries to do the work loyalty used to do for free. That's expensive. Worse, it doesn't ring as true. So what does a comeback look like? It's simpler than a new platform and harder than a press release. The comeback blueprint. If Toyota wants it. Step 1. Choice. Bring back a durability-first option alongside the modern one. Publish maintenance intervals that look conservative. Stand behind the product with warranties that speak softly and carry a big promise. Step 2. Quality obsession. Quietly overbuild the touchpoints people notice first. Door seals, dash mounts, seat frames, steering wheel stitching, the clips that keep a grille from buzzing at 70. These parts are cheap. The goodwill is priceless. Let reviewers find nothing to nitpick. Let owners hear the right kind of silence. Step 3. Transparency. When software updates improve drivability, say so plainly. When a part gets revised, say what changed. Owners don't expect perfection. They expect honesty. Honesty ages well. Step 4. Humility. Tell the loyalists you heard them. Not with a commercial, with a build sheet. Put a simple, naturally aspirated engine on one trim. Price it fairly, and limit the cosmetics. Then watch the internet do the marketing. None of this requires a time machine. It requires remembering what made Toyota unshakable in the first place. The human part, why this stings. People don't form communities around spec sheets. They form them around shared experiences. The memory of a truck that never left you stranded. The pride of handing keys to your kid. The way a door closes with a thud that sounds like a promise. When buyers say the new trucks feel different, they're not only talking about turbos, they're talking about a relationship that suddenly feels transactional. Loyalty is emotional. Break it with logic, and you can win it back with logic. Break it with emotion, and you need something deeper. A truck that earns its way back into the driveway, one quiet mile at a time. So here's the fork in the road. Toyota can keep telling customers to adjust. Some will, or Toyota can meet them halfway with choice, quality, and candor, and watch the old magic return. Not as nostalgia, as a product truth you can feel before you read it. If a naturally aspirated option came back tomorrow, just as a choice, would you put Toyota back on your shortlist? Or have you already moved on to something else? I'm curious where you land because the comments aren't just chatter. They're free product research the entire industry reads. If this breakdown helped you see the bigger picture, tap like so more people find it, and subscribe if you want honest, no-fluff takes that don't read like brochures. Real-world cost example. Why lightly used can be worse. Let's run a simple, realistic scenario. Imagine two nearly identical trucks on the same lot. Truck A is new, listed at $61,000. There's a factory rebate of $2,500 and a promotional APR of 1.9% for 60 months. Truck B is lightly used, same trim, 1,200 miles, listed at the original MSRP of $61,000 with no rebate, and your best bank rate today is 10.5% because it's used. On Truck A, your financed amount after rebate is $58,500. At 1.9% over 60 months, your monthly payment lands in the low $1,020s. On Truck B, that same $61,000 at 10.5% over 60 months pushes the payment roughly $1,300, depending on tax and fees. That's a $300 swing every month to buy the truck with miles on it. Even if the used truck is discounted a few thousand, the rate still eats the difference. Buyers don't need a spreadsheet to feel that. They just need a calculator app and a headache. When the deal punishes you for trying to be sensible, the experience poisons the product. The 3-month trade. Picture Adam, a Tacoma loyalist on his 4th one. He wanted to love the new truck. The first week felt great, quiet, techy, quick. Week 2, he notices an odd delay leaving a side street. Week 3, a buzz behind the dash over rough pavement. By week 6, he's reading forums at midnight. He convinces himself it's fine. Week 12, he's back at the dealer just to see numbers. That day, he leaves the keys. Adam didn't become a hater. He became tired. Tired kills sales as surely as anger. The Sequoia that never became a family member. Now meet Priya and Marco. 2 kids, 2 car seats, 1 big road trip planned. They buy a new Sequoia TRD Pro in a color their kids adore. It looks incredible in the driveway. On the road, the hybrid system is smooth until it's not. A loud fan on a hot day. A jolt when merging. A warning message that goes away before they can photograph it. Nothing catastrophic. Nothing confidence building either. They keep it 3 months, then swap into something boring that feels calmer. They still watch Toyota press events. They just don't buy the first batch anymore. Cold weather. Complex systems. Turbocharged, hybridized powertrains can be marvelous. They also rely on tight operating windows. In deep cold, oil thickness, battery chemistry, and calibration all have to dance perfectly. When they do, nobody notices. When they don't, owners notice everything. The groan at startup, the stumble leaving a stop sign, the heater that prioritizes components before passengers. None of these are fatal flaws. They're morale flaws. Morale sells or unsells trucks. What rivals are doing. Ford learned the hard way that customers will tolerate complexity if the payoff feels massive. The F-150's hybrid gives legitimate real-world range and onboard power that changes how people work and camp. Ram realized a big lazy engine with smart transmission logic can still feel premium, so they doubled back to meet their base with something familiar. GM, for all its own missteps, never abandoned the straightforward V8 recipe entirely. Each move telegraphed respect for different kinds of buyers. The takeaway for Toyota isn't to copy a rival, it's to copy its former self. Multiple answers to one question. Where Toyota can outclass everyone, if it wants to. No one in the industry is better at systems engineering than Toyota. If any company can make a complex powertrain feel simple for 300,000 miles, it's them. The strategy mistake wasn't building advanced drivetrains. It was removing the simple alternative. Bring the choice back, and suddenly the advanced option doesn't feel forced. It feels like a gift to the buyers who want it. What techs whisper? Spend an afternoon near a service lane, and you'll hear the unvarnished version of any brand. Techs don't hate modern Toyotas. They hate uncertainty. Intermittent behaviors that don't throw clear codes. Harnesses routed tight enough that a single clip out of tolerance becomes a rattle. Dash disassembly that takes an hour to chase a buzz. None of this ruins a brand. It just erodes the myth that Toyotas are above the fray. Myths sell. Erosion doesn't. The psychology of trust in trucks. Trucks aren't bought like fashion. They're bought like tools. Even when they're daily drivers. A tool either disappears into your day or it interrupts it. The old Toyota magic trick was invisibility. You forgot the brand because the truck never made you remember it. The moment a truck makes you think about it because of a noise, a warning, a hesitation, you stop trusting it to be invisible. That's when you start shopping again, even if the thing in the driveway is barely broken in. Global versus local strategy. Toyota operates on a world map. In markets where fuel is expensive and emissions rules are tight, smaller boosted engines and hybrids make obvious sense. In North America's truck culture, the math is different. Fuel costs matter, sure, but confidence under load, heat, cold, and miles matters more. One global strategy can miss local truths. The solution isn't picking a side. It's letting the lineup speak 2 dialects: global efficiency and North American durability, resale value and the new unknown. Toyotas used to be the king of resale because the second buyer was as confident as the first. When the first owner trades quickly, the second buyer wonders, what didn't they like? That question costs money. If Toyota wants its legendary resale to hold, it has to make first owners fall in love again. Second owners follow first owners' hearts. Your turn. I've said my piece. Now I want yours. Are you an owner who swapped out of a new Toyota sooner than you planned? What pushed you over the edge? The payment, the feel, a single issue that you couldn't unhear? Or did you buy one and love it because the benefits outweigh the fears? Drop your story below. I read them. Manufacturers read them. And whether they admit it or not, they adjust course when enough of you speak at once. Toyota doesn't need a revolution to win this back. It needs a recalibration. The quickest way to rebuild a reputation is to build one truck that reminds everyone why the badge mattered in the first place. Make it simple, make it stout, make it honest. Then let the rest of the lineup be as futuristic as you want. Choice is respect in mechanical form. And that's where we'll wrap this breakdown. Before you go, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe. We're pushing to hit our first 100 subscribers, and every click really helps get these videos out to more people. But more importantly, I want to hear your story. If you've owned a Toyota, old or new, drop your experience in the comments. The good, the bad, the surprising, we'll all be reading them. Because at the end of the day, these trucks aren't just numbers, they're part of people's lives. And hearing real stories from real owners is what keeps this conversation honest. So let's see where you stand. I'll be down there reading every one. See you on the next video.